get started, does anyone want to get out?
We're here in Georgia, USA at the Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Hey guys, I'm the Hacksmith, and today I'm learning how to fly like Iron Man. Richard Browning from Gravity Industries invited me out to try his jet suit and actually learn to fly. And there he is right now.
Hey, good to see you.
Can't wait to try.
Yeah, this is what this is all for. So this is going to be a good step forward beyond Camarillo, where you did a great job jumping around. This is going to be a huge help. You can learn in complete comfort.
All right, let's
get
do
on
it.
Training.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is show you the suit you're going to be flying, and we've got it tucked away in here.
Ooh, the grand reveal. This is a new one.
This is the entirely 3D printed one. Okay, so here's the harness. If you put your arms through that, and then you actually clip the suit into the harness. We've got a flight log book. I'll go to flight training.
This is a way for you to log all your activities, and then this is the comment section where you actually fill out, where you feel the most impact on your body, where you feel the most impact from the suit, what's going right, what's going wrong. Good luck.
Thank you.
See you out there.
Okay, so you got the harness on. We're now going to clip you into the suit. Shoulder ones in. In the early days, I used to do all this myself at some of the events. Now it is quite nice to feel like you can administer most of it yourself. Yeah. Okay. Right, we're pretty good to go. What we've got to do is preset the power level on the suit. Okay. So when you pull the trigger in, it gives you the maximum power that we've preset. So the way we teach people is we give you a modest amount of power just to start to feel the throttle response. Yep. You want to be able to feel that there is actually some thrust there. Yep. To start to feel the action and reaction and the balance. I fully anticipate you'll be quite bored at that stage because I want more power. 70% power
of my weight
for what we think he needs to fly with rather than 70% power of the suit.
All right, so I'm all suited up and I'm ready for my first test flight on the tether system. I'm super excited, a little bit nervous. My heart's pounding a little bit, but I'm gonna realize a dream today, and that's to fly like Iron Man.
That was great.
At first it was like, power, but then when I rolled and looked up, it was just like, oh.
You just put your weight over the top of it.
How you feeling?
Pretty awesome. We're gonna turn up the power, get some more gas in the back. I'm gonna hover.
Yeah, that was lovely to see your face. We could all see that you just suddenly clicked with that.
But at the moment, you're on an awesome trajectory, so let's keep that going.
He's on about 80%.
I think you've done a lot of back-to-back goes. Yeah. I think you come out the suit, have a little bit of a break. That's looking really good.
Just need a bit more power.
To let him jump around without a tether, which I've not really done hardly ever before with anybody. It was on very low power, but still it's enough to throw you on the floor and wreck our equipment and possibly hurt him a little bit. But I had a belief in him that he knew what he was doing, and he's showing that, yeah, that was a good hunch. So let's see how he gets going, how he keeps going.
Save that for when I go to wherever. We're going swimming then so far.
wash your arms backwards and forwards.
It's tiring. I've been with Gravity for 29 years, and it's really hard to, like, you know, just let go.
Your forward back thing's sorted now.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, let's review some of the footage.
Now, reviewing this really helps because you haven't seen this yet, right? So, yeah, your body position's really good here. You're not leaning too far back. You're not too upright. You're starting to feel that stability as the power comes in. Now, you are drifting slowly back. That's just simply because those arms need to move backwards a tiny bit. Right here.
Yeah,
Right, that's really
there's
funny.
like, I probably could have seen the ground beyond. I'm like, ah.
It's really good though. I mean, I think there is this something about trusting that tether. But that's still awesome progress. There's so many things that usually at this stage people are doing, like rotating,
I saw the
swinging off all over.
and
Right.
whatnot.
No, so you've just
Like, all right, fall back.
you've just bypassed all of that. Write some comments to yourself because it actually means that you can look back and see what you were struggling with at different stages and see how you've overcome that.
Jets. Back. Bad. All right, so I feel like part of my mental block is I'm not mentally trusting the tether system, so I'm gonna get Marshall to pull me up a bit. I'm actually gonna practice hanging and realize, oh yeah, I'm not gonna fall. After seeing the crash footage that Richard showed me yesterday of falling off platforms, I'm just like, I don't wanna do that. It's there. All right, so I'm getting so close to that hover. I don't know, my feet just don't want to hit the ground.
It's probably better than showing you rather than trying to describe it.
It's like turning on no clip in video games. I didn't really realize it, but like I've dreamed of like being able to do this, and now like the technology exists and came into fly. I was feeling a lot more fatigued there.
I can see you getting tired.
When I fall out, I always bend my arms.
I think you're doing what I used to do, which is you let go of the trigger and you think that the thrust is basically dropped, so you let your arms relax a little bit and then they fight you. So at the moment it looks like you're fighting it a little bit, and it's just kind of a lot easier. You can hold that position for a lot longer than you could hold this.
Oh yeah.
But he's sort of dangling under it.
All right, that was way better. And we dropped it back down to like 65, 70% power, so I get the feel for it again. Because the very first time I tried back in California without a tether system, I was able to hop no problem. I wasn't scared of going forwards and back. But now with the tether system at full power, I'm like, oh no, I might do that. So we dropped it back to the 65%, tried it, felt good. 87%. Take 2. Oh boy. I really think that tether was messing me up this entire freaking time.
Yeah.
So what we just did there was we had the tether super loose, but we backed the power of the suit back down to 60 or 70%. And it worked pretty good. We started, I think, at 70%, and then I did a few hops. It wasn't too bad. And they're like, all right, and they cranked it up to like 80%, and then they got all the way up to 87%. And at that point, like this close to lifting me off the ground, but it was still kind of messing me up because it wasn't enough power. I had to try and jump. And the problem is when you jump, your instinct is now you're falling. This next time we're gonna crank it up, I think straight to 97, 100%. And we're gonna try it again, but try just basically raising and lowering my arms and hopefully just having my feet lift off, come back down and stay up. So hopefully that works. Dropped, power, 70%, 87%, hops, up. Full power. All right, I'm so close. I feel like I just need a little bit more power.
No, man, you're taking forever. It's my turn. Give me 100% throttle, let's go.
Might be fun to watch again.
100%, let's go. Yeah, I don't need them.
We'll go up there. I'll hold the arms just to give you a bit of a break, okay?
Yeah, over the top.
Hold them about here, and then just play with that trigger. Get massively out of shape. Just let go of the trigger immediately. Go.
This is a cool process. You can feel them all firing up. You can have a nice slow-mo horizontal spin there.
How was that? It's good.
So you're gonna fly. All right, I gotta say, you did a lot better than I thought you would.
The ankles felt a bit warm.
It's kind of weird how I'm wearing your pants and you're wearing Evan's pants and Evan's wearing your pants.
It is, so I ended up kind of flying like a T-Rex a little bit. To do it properly, you want to start out and then get the full throttle and then bring it down. But they're pretty heavy, so getting it up there is hard. I'm a rock climber, so I train pulling, I don't train pushing. I never do this motion. By the end of it, I couldn't even lift them.
This is it, your big moment. This is 100% power. You are going to fly. You can do it.
So that last flight was awesome. You've made such consistent progress throughout the day.
I was so close.
I think there's a few things, right? One is that with this belay system, I do think that there's probably more sponge in the rope because it's not a complete climbing rope, but it's got a bit of that kind of flexibility. So I think that means that my guys have got to keep you quite tight, and yet that's pulling you slightly off balance. I think that makes the learning a little bit more difficult than it would otherwise be. But otherwise, I mean, your stability and control, you weren't rotating significantly, you were drifting back a little bit.
Yeah,
but you started
I'm not even sure if
out.
I spun out once.
I think there is one other thing as well around, everybody that does this brings something new to the table. You've seen loads of people like try bits of this now, even just one or two goes, you can see how they all bring a different kind of slant to it. There's something about your tippy toes wanting to stay firmly rooted to that stage. And you can see that there's a few occasions where just you're about to come off, and they obviously were giving you some purchase, because when that comes away, you then change orientation and your legs swing back.
And then that messes up your whole body
That
position.
might be because of the tether, but we need to work on a way for you that you feel comfortable leaning into it, and where your legs, like my little demo, where your legs just drift effortlessly. What other flying device can you think of that you can pretty much learn to fly within like a few days? We've been here for a few days. There was a noise limitation, and I have to say, we've now consumed our way through that, and we're kind of the end of the tether in that sense. So
so no more flights.
Not today, unfortunately. So it's always, wherever we got to, you're always going to want more. Yeah. That's for sure. There's just going to have to be, Camarillo's part 1. This is part 2. There's going to have to be more than part 2.
Part 3, maybe part 3 in London.
I would love to have you back somewhere in London, or at our training place, or somewhere else where we're flying.
The secret location in London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. But it's been a pleasure. You've done awesome, and I look forward to the next time. This is basically it's a challenge event. Awesome. We got them done in 2017, and there's only a limited run of these things. We're never going to get them done again.
One of a kind.
And Tom Cruise has got one of those. A whole bunch of crazy people around the world have got those things. So
the Human Propulsion Company. Yeah, I can almost fly.
The truth is,
I am Iron Man.